Today is August 2nd, 2024. Told you yesterday. A lot again. I'd like to know why law enforcement hasn't picked up Pete. The case is solved. They know who Pete is. Why haven't they picked him up? He basically gave law enforcement the finger, it's me. What are you gonna do about it? He's a drug dealer. Where Dave said he hired Pete on his own. It's documented by the police as trained by the drug cartel, Pete's Drug Cartel, where the big, heavy-set men during the case showed up, heavy, long black hair. We all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. Dave hired Pete on his own. So who's Pete work for? The king from Texas. We are his men. He sent us here to help. He's a drug lord. Dave hired us. Dave hired Pete on his own, so who's Pete? One of the fentanyl kings, man. Look him up, he's the fentanyl king. Where all the date rape, drug amnesia, drug confessions. The guy, if you look up the king from Texas, he's U.S. military, Iraqi translator, went into the dark web, malware, fentanyl king. He's a fentanyl king. Hacker. That's why they made fun of FBI agent John. He didn't arrest him. See, that's where, during the case, where they keep saying the whole thing is that agent stealing. Because you got to think, the whole scenario, and I'm telling you, where that guy, December 14th, 23, 4:45 p.m., walks out of McDonald's. Karen's Will's here today. I came down to make sure she got no money out of this. I told Dave I set her up, and I stole her money. They said it was one of the agents over my case. November 20th, 23, Walmart 62, they said he took a payoff and he stole my money. October 4th, 23, the two girls, there's a Michelle and a Lauren. Lauren's supposed to be dating one of the guys. Was a massive screaming that Will stole the money for her. October 6th, 23, Walmart 62, they were talking that one guy from the case has been stealing every dime for his girlfriend. December 2nd, 22, Wendy's Alliance. Is that the one that church tried to have killed? Yes. Heard she didn't get any money out of this. No, it's the one guy from the case stealing every dime since the first day. They called him a paid-off dirty agent January to March of 19. Akron last year, they were screaming, it's that idiot stealing our money. I've talked to the police out of this area, prosecutor's office, somebody from the Stark County prosecutor's office, and a criminal attorney. That agent doesn't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He's only a higher police officer. First Amendment, it takes a judge. Well, he already told on me before. Don't matter. You can tell whoever you want, and he can't open his mouth. Get paid for working the case, and he can't withhold your money. And he can't talk to you that way. All of them said that. These people try to blame the police up in Portage County. I went to the Ravenna police. The chief of police called me back. It was none of our officers. I went to the Portage County Sheriff. Miss Hall, what these people are saying they did is illegal. It was none of our officers. In your home or anybody else's home outside a protected life case, I said, with statements, yes. I said, it's the Fourth Amendment, yes. And what these people are saying they did is illegal. They've hired the drug cartel. Now, where Michelle's mother, Pete's wife, the heavy-set white woman, Memorial Day weekend 2019, showed up for It's My Daughter, her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna, da-da-da-da. She showed up again. We called Will, explained Michelle, and he set her up. So how did that See, that's where I even met with this one friend in Worcester, January 13th, 23. He said, I work in a factory and I race horses professionally. He said, I know somebody that knows somebody who deals drugs on the racetrack. He said, they all know, all the drug dealers know what happened here, the Ohio drug dealers. And they all know that you didn't know that agent was in debt to that drug dealer. So John was in debt to Pete. And that's why all this happened. Why did Pete know that he could walk into the FBI office and John wouldn't arrest him for racketeering, kiddie porn, attempted murder? The confession of his crimes to a federal officer and he didn't arrest him. Taking a hit job for somebody to harm somebody, to hurt them, to kill them is a 10-year sentence. They get hurt, it's 20, they die, it's life. So how did he know that FBI agent John wouldn't arrest him? Because it's a circus show. Like they told the Edith Oakland apartment, December 9, 21, 4 p.m. It's just a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see someone will stop them. They don't think they're stoppable. It's a circus show. You walk into a FBI office. A man trying to kill his wife. She calls a hotline. Because bad people that have tried to hurt her before are showing back up. People are leaving threats, telling her that it's their church doing it. Call the hotline. They drug that victim up so bad they can't even hardly get out of bed. In the meantime, that agent's running around telling everyone that I called the FBI, meeting with him, police witnessing it, admits it on a recorded line. So how did he know when they walked in that office that that federal agent wouldn't arrest him? That a drug dealer took a hit with a man and his teenage girlfriend. Trying to kill his wife. Running a big framing con. A cult leader making up pathetic excuses to kill people. And a drug dealer lying he has sodium pentothal reports to a federal officer. And he took a head job to stalk somebody. Sell kiddie porn. My grandkids go on potty. Sex trafficking videos of people. Voyeurism tapes, taking tapes of people naked without their permission. Sextortion of photoshopping and washing. Drug confessions. It's racketeering. Racketeering, RICO charges, is drugs, threats, rape, attempted extortion under it. Money laundering. All fall under racketeering. So what do? And then when you try to get money out of photoshopping a showering scene, it's extortion. So why did he not think that federal agent wouldn't arrest him? They knew each other. A drug dealer. A serial killer that's a child molester. Pete, see, that's where a lot of things have got better. When people, like they said the other day, they found out Pete's no judge. Where do people think a retired serial killing judge is funny? Having people drug, beat, and rape, trying to extort money out of them. Where, and selling people in the drug cartel funny? Here's just a drug cartel guy. A drug dealer running a drug scam. They keep telling you it's a drug scam from the it's a drug scam from the drug dealers that are human trafficking people. Human trafficking is selling people for sex slaves and to be murdered. These people that followed me and harassed me, where Pete admitted he ordered those men to show up here. He paid for them to show up here. Paid for them to harm me. Paid for all those people to do everything to me, and he pays for people to follow me around and say and do stuff. Where does he get his money? He sells women and children for sex slaves and be murdered for taking blood money off of dead children's bodies that he sold. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, it's $1 billion business a year, selling people. That's where he gets all his money. You know, yesterday, people were talking, her ex-husband gave up everything in life to go run drugs with the drug cartel. I know he did. I know he did. It was documented I was framed by the drug cartel. Officer Mark last August on a Tuesday. In August of 2023, on a Tuesday, was talking to a lady. None of this is funny. Said, did her ex-husband defend her? Yes, we taped him. Did anybody ever talk to her? No. Then they had to frame her. It's been documented and verified she was framed before. Was it the drug cartel? Yes, we've seen them. It was also documented and verified it was a medication error that made her sick before. And it's documented and verified some other woman was using her insurance. None of it. It's just like, none of this is funny. She said, I know it's not. 14th Amendment, you cannot just take somebody's money, but due process of the law, you have to be found guilty of it and sued, never happen. You cannot withhold protection. The freedom of speech, it takes, even the prosecutor's office, that agent doesn't have enough authority to ask you to stay quiet. I said, well, he already admitted he told on me. Don't matter. You can tell however you want, and he can't say a word. He's just a police officer. He's a higher one, but he's only a police officer. It takes a judge. I had a group of people pull it. We all know that no one can tell anybody they can't say anything. Only a judge. We have a freedom of speech. We don't live in a communist country. Nobody can be in your home, 4th Amendment, but protected like cases with statements. Like the Portage County Sheriff's, what these people did is illegal. And it was none of our officers in your home, and we had no knowledge of what they were doing. And what they did is illegal. Drugging people for fake confessions, beating, raping them, photoshopping shower scenes in other rooms. They're so far altered. They told the nurse at March 13th, 21, the only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself. The guy said that's sick. Said, no, it's funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said, that's sick. I said, no, it's funny. And she just brushed it off. That's where March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Then they start saying you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself with wood. Well, that's not wiping off water with clothes on. It made my stomach bleed. I thought you put my head on somebody else's body. Anything's photoshoppable. Words out of sentences, other sentences, put your face on somebody else's body, your hair color, your eye color, your clothes. You can Photoshop anything. Dear God, back in the 70s and 80s, or even before that, they used to have to do the voice in movies separate and then add it back in and line it up correctly, or it look like you're saying something you didn't. They have been photoshopping for decades and decades and decades. Now that everything's digital, it's so much more easier. That's where they said you touch yourself, you expose yourself. Touch yourself was weird. It made my stomach bleed. And I know it was photoshopped. I thought you did something that shitty. Did you put my head on somebody else's body? And then I thought, they're playing me. What would you be doing? Sounds like you undressed and got in a shower. That's what Maddie said. Sounds like showering. washing. Walked outside, smoked. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found tape of them admitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, they said the shower scene was done on purpose. March of 22 in Navarre, they told people that Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. Just like they told Ed, all the tapes before were them and not her, and it's just a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone actually stops them. The guy at the Hunger Task Force, December 9, 21, also. White man bald with dark eyes distributing food. Camp police and investigators found him too. He actually worked the case. They always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so they never said a word. Officer Marr told the North Canton Jackson police in May of 19, the worst thing he ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and properly we can wipe that one out. There's nothing to wipe out. Dave verified his dress, obviously. Nailing made fun of the back of my knee. Some old man showed up and tried to claim he had sodium pentothal reports and had drugged me up and told me to say long nightgown and beltline. And they laughed at me how they framed me, drugged me, and told me to say all kinds of crazy stuff. And it was a drug cartel running a big drug scam here. That's why they made fun of FBI agent John June 7, 23 to actually fall for it. Eric made fun of everybody November 18th, 22. Mocked everybody. They said last year in June 30th to July 3rd of 23 that he went to a party and he made fun of everybody, how he fooled everyone. See, the whole scenario, them walking in the FBI office, it's a drug dealer in the drug cartel, drug being raping somebody, took a hit job. And Dave yelling, I hired him! With his teenage girlfriend and cult leader making up pathetic excuses to kill people, and he didn't rest the whole sideshow. It's ridiculous and absurd. Just like them running around telling people I had charges. I have one traffic ticket, just passed another FBI background check. Just like he's lying to people, oh, she was found insane, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Never stayed in a state hospital. Never had doctors go to a judge to take my rights away. Don't have a guardian. Don't have a social worker. Not on Social Security disability. Don't get a free apartment from the state. Are they saying Social Security disability owes me about $500,000 in back pay? I'm poor. I'll take it. You want me to mock you back? I want a fancy smancy parking spot too. I work 2 jobs for a living, and I'm a notary, and what I sign and stamp stands up in court. I take care of people for a living. His lies are so absurd. Just like, oh, there's a doctor selling people's information. HIPAA violations, they can never talk to anybody. They can't witness against you in court. It's HIPAA. They get arrested 1 to 5 years. It's another drug dealer. Like Altman Hospital, my God, they had these people, had somebody impersonate a doctor selling people's information. Exactly. December 31st, 23. No one's going to back those doctors from before. My God, they were all lying so bad. They said she had brain tumors and there was nothing wrong with her. But her muscles locked up, and they caused all that with medication errors. I know, it's documented medical malpractice and documented medication errors. And it's documented some other woman was using my insurance, and it's documented I was framed by the drug cartel, and it was a drug cartel in my home. And it's also documented that that agent told on me before. You got to think. I'm telling you, it's a scam between Pete and John. Because why didn't he arrest him for the confession of his crimes? A hit goes in on the cartel. Pete picks it up. Has that person hurt. Tries to have him killed, but makes you wonder if it was just attempts so that scare him real bad. Wait till they're alone, set up botting cameras, start stalking them, cyber stalking. There's revenge porn laws too, selling naked pictures of people without their permission. cyber stalking. Huh? Then we got kidnapping, drugs, rape, human trafficking, selling kiddie porn, attempted murder. Huh? Breaking in, having a drug cartel guys, drink when she's out of the room. She don't even know they're in the house. Beat and rape me. Leaving me with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, muscle pain, severe swollen personal infection. My unique case, I moved out in the country to a new home. And the well water looked like poop water. And I thought I had E. coli or something else in it. It was killing me. And here it's drug dealers, drug beating, raping me, and drugging me up and telling me to say something stupid. I woke up with marks that look like injection marks. I told Dave, I said, it looks like an injection mark. Oh, Karen, don't be crazy. Where would you get an injection mark? Because he hired the people to stick me. And it's documented by Altman family physicians. Giant bruising all over me, muscle pain, headache, almost passing out, and a severe swollen personal infection, and nobody's thinking of a rapist. When I told them what was going on, they're like, your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal. That's what was causing all that. They were giving me iron pills, muscle relaxers, stuff for headaches, throwing up, and pills and creams for an infection. Now you tell me how not funny this is. A rapist, a serial killer, walks into an FBI office and confesses his crimes to a federal cop, and he didn't arrest him. I've talked to the police. No law enforcement at fault for that. Him going around, see, it's a big 4-day loophole on top of it. Like they said, that agent went around from the time she called that FBI hotline, before he talked to her, went around telling everyone she called the FBI. Witnessed by the police, speaking to everyone and telling everyone she called FBI. Admitted on a recorded line several times he spoke to everyone, bullies her, lists her informant with money and immunity, and then threatens her. And it all goes back. He's already told everyone. And he doesn't have authority on top of it. Him and Pete are just ripping off victims, stealing from the government. He stole over $360,000 and possibly $10 million from my tip from Michael Peterson smuggling oil through truckers on me. He bragged to me. Made him give me proof, turned it in. Like they said, they called down and asked about Michael Peterson's shipment to the U.S. It wasn't legit. And Trakasami was smuggling oil out from underneath his government. Got arrested for it. Got a terrorist arrested. Like they said, what accomplishment. One of their informants led to the arrest of Trakasami. That's how not funny this agent is. Like Sheriff David said, if he stole your money, he stole others. He's too arrogant. You ever watch Your Honor on Netflix? Where a mobster has a judge, dirty police officers that he has in his pocket? Well, this one has effect. Exactly. And him making fun of a rape victim. He's laughing at me about some guy named Pete. I never even met him yet. They're talking about some guy that was drug beat and raped me. Brady had the cartel harm me like that, crushed my skull, and I have a big dent in my head. The LPN said it should have been fatal. I was raped, I was tortured, publicly humiliated. And this guy is selling women and children for sex slaves and been murdered, and he's running cons on people, and people make fun of me for being one of his victims. He confessed. He told everybody it was him. Like they said, they found out that Pete was no judge. It's just some drug dealer. They have his confession. He can't even dispute it. Why haven't they picked him up? You only just let him go around drug beating, raping people, selling kiddie porn? Huh? Selling people? Running cons on people? Like they said, that agent knew better. You can't say you want to Pete's boss or you would have arrested him and gave him a plea deal. They said the king was here several times in 19 and 20. Riff Raff was talking about him. They didn't want his boss. Pete and John are in cahoots. I'm going to upload this.